Okay, before we move on too far, what I want to do is take a look at the actual data that we've got here. So when we put in an address, we get a lot of information back. We get the street number, we get some routing information, we get the neighbourhood. The point is, if we put in an address like 10 Downing Street, then we know it's 10 Downing Street, but we might want to get the postcode. That is some useful information from here. And if we take a look here, we've just got the postcode, so we can return the postcode. So we can sort of do a postcode finder. So let's go back to our program, and instead of just pulling back the latitude, which is really important, let's play around on getting a postcode. Let's turn this into something useful. So if I type in an address, what I want to do is get the postcode. So let's take a look at where the postcode is in the formatter and validator. I think we've processed that and we've got the information. There we go. So if I just shrink down these items until we get the postcode, and there we go. So we can take a look at what we've got here. So it's address components, and we've got to choose it's an array, and that's the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th item is going to give us our postcode, hopefully. So if I come back to here, so let's go and find the item. So it's results, address components, 7th item. So results 0, address components, and then we have an array. So instead of location, we need to put the 7th value in there, and what we're trying to find out is the postcode. So we can just choose the word long name. Hopefully that will give us the postcode. So if I choose long name, so saving that and running it. Please enter an address, 10 Downing Street. We get the postcode. So we've got a little postcode finder, which that's more use than it was before. However, the latitude and longitude is really useful, because what we're going to do is we're going to sort of do what we call a mashup. In other words, we're going to get some information from this particular API, and we're going to pump that information into another API. Some of them, for example, the geometry location is really useful. Latitude and longitude gives us the exact location of the address we've put in, assuming that we put the postcode in as well. We're going to get an exact location. Or we can have a sort of viewport, which is a rectangle with, if you can imagine a rectangle on the screen, with the northeast corner being the top right hand corner and the southwest corner being the bottom left hand corner of the rectangle. We get the latitude and longitude of those 2 points. So we can get a box on the screen, or an area with which that post or address is in. Also, the place ID, as I've mentioned before, is also useful to find out, because we can use that and use some other Google APIs to use this ID to find out what's around, what shops are there, what bus stops are there, etc, etc. So we can pull lots of different pieces of information from here, and that's what we're going to be looking at in the next part. So in the next video, what I want to do is show you that we don't just have to put an address in here. We can do a postcode, and that will give us some further information. However, we'll need to look carefully at the JSON formatter and validator for the information that it comes back with. And then I'm going to sort of divert and make this a little bit safer, or just give you something to type in, and that's it. So in the next video we're going to look at the postcode version.